Islam Moors, peace to everyone. I want to read something for you for the holy day before class start. And this is something we should read before every meeting. The people I have listened to have not been reading it. So since I know better, I'm going to try to do better. A warning from the prophet to be read in every meeting. I strongly inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these rules will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must take their course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violates the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their rewards from Allah by their for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn their cards and buttons. They should turn in their cards and buttons, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a true holy and divine movement founded by Prophet Noble Ali. If the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet to the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. If you notice, we don't waste our time talking about white people. They're doing what they're made to do, and we didn't do what we made to do. But I'm just bringing this to your attention because people ask me when I wear my fez, am I a Shriner? And I said, no. Uh, the Shriners are imitating us. And don't you notice they have writings on their caboose, and that's it's not Fez is the name of a city. The correct term is Taboosh. Don't you realize? Don't you see they have writings or sword or some symbols on their Fez? Taboosh. It's because they're a corporation. They have to advertise who owns them. We don't have anything on ours. We're the owner of the corporation, so we don't need to be advertising. Who are the owners? We're the owners. Who are we advertising as the owner of the corporation? We don't. We're the owners of the corporation. We don't need to be have symbols advertising who own them. You got it? Okay, well, thank y'all for standing by during the time my channel was down. And we never know what's happening one day to the next. We just take one day as it comes. but we know things are always getting better. The best is yet to come. Now, we don't sing no doom and here, 'cause we're uplifting our people. And we get a lot of people, visitors who's not part of our community. And as long as they behave themselves, they're welcome to visit us and learn from us as well. The other thing I want to bring, because like I said, it's late, and most of y'all gonna hear this earlier in the day. It's about 3 o'clock where I'm at a.m. And that's what you may do sometimes, stay up late at night to get your studying in, because that's you just got to get it in. You got to sacrifice those many hours of sleep to to get that work in. One thing I would share with me to share with you all is this idea of the woman, how important she is. Matter of fact, when you find the real translation of the name Jesus, you will see the word Isis. Isis, that's feminine energy. So this man has that we allowed to rule has changed everything. Changed the matriarch into a patriarch. Told us where the woman come from. Oh, she come from a rib. A man created her from his rib. That's the most asinine things I've ever heard. Most of y'all believe it because you believe the book that it's written in. But if you believe that book, why don't you find the other 20 books, 22 books that was written? Yeah. Why were they not part of the whole books? Why did they take out some books and left in some to create a narrative for you? That I'm telling you, so-called white superiority is a war tactic to keep people in bondage, to enslave you. They're like if you play chess, they're like the bishops. They go across the board, to and fro. They can attack from far and near. They go on the dark squares and they go on the light squares. And they got the whole run of the board. They call them bishops for a purpose. They're the missionaries. They're the first line of attack. So chess teach you a whole lot. I'm learning a lot. I dabbled in it a few years ago. And now the spirit tells me to get back into it because there's a lot of things we learn, especially after you read the book uh, Art of War. You understand chess a lot better. It's all mental. Everything about chess is a mental game. Sure, you have to make the right moves. You have to make sure you don't make any blunders. But you got to go there, as they say in the book. You have to have won the game before you fought it. So how could you win the game? How could you win the war before you fought it? You have to win it in the spiritual. You got it? Then you go to the physical. And with that mindset, man, I've been winning more than I've been losing. And it's not about winning or losing, it's about learning how the game is played. And I've seen people, I'm just at, I just started, so I'm just in the 300s. I see people in 400s make blunders, sacrifices that's unnecessary. But that's the way they play the game. But don't make no blunders in this game of life because This is your life. And you got to make the right moves. That's what I'm going to leave you with today. And thank those who are coming on. Thank for your support and your subscriptions and your likes. And we're going to talk more about this in the private bills. About the Antichrist. Anyone who hates women, talks against women, they got to be the Antichrist, because if they love Jesus so much, Jesus means Isis. And only she can give parthogenic birth without a man. Man, what can you do? You just got muscles for protection. She's a real spiritual head. Of course, they've been dumbed down by society, made to feel inferior. But that's the coming of God's kingdom, when the woman takes her rightful place. Everything gonna change. You see the women in our community now, how they are lost. I mean, I've never seen such lewdness. They got to be lost. But it's just for a short time. They have to go through that. In other words, you can't be found if you don't know you're lost. So that's why they call it a lost and found nation. So they will be found and come around, and the nation would rise as the woman rise. So you have to uplift your woman if you want to be respected. Okay? And like I said, I just have a short, our meetings never longer than 10 to 15 minutes, because we don't need an hour to say everything we need to be said. So I think I've said it all. Let me look in the comments, see if anybody got some questions. No questions. So thank y'all for stopping by. This is Sizer. That's the family name from Melchizedek. That's our ancestral name.